Hey there, gang. Welcome back to Papa's Model Workshop. I'm Papa. This is my workshop. So we are continuing with our 1910 London Taxi. I'll show you where I am. And this is the kit that we are working on. Let's see if I can get some light up here. You can see that a little bit better. This is an ICM kit, okay, right there in 1/24th scale. And I am indeed doing it in the green, just like the box art shows. Okay, so with that said, I will show you where I am at. And I have the frame attached to the fenders and so forth. And I've got the engine in here. Okay, and I've got a little bit of rust on that engine, and I'm going to rust that a little bit more. Okay, and we have the carriage all put together. Okay, so I will tell you a few of the issues that I had mostly yesterday. And as you know, the grandchildren are down here quite a lot. And my one grandchild is autistic. And sometimes he gets into things he shouldn't get into. So Noah was down here yesterday, and he got up here on the workbench. And, well, this, for putting things in a nutshell, this was all kind of banged up pretty badly. Okay, as a matter of fact, it was all kind of in pieces yesterday. So I put things back together. I spent basically the entire day trying to put things back together. I had a couple of pieces that were actually broken. Yeah, here. Let me see here. This support right in here was actually broken. So I had a repair day yesterday. And in the end, this was really my fault because I left things within his grabbing range. So, you know, I should have put it out of the way, and I didn't, and that's what happened. So anyway, that's what I did yesterday. I put all of this back together, and I'm finally ready to move on. There we go. Turn that around. Okay, so we're finally ready to move on. If you haven't been watching the channel, what I elected to do with this, I did my research, and I found that some of these London taxis in the green and the red had a yellow undercarriage with yellow wheels, and I really kind of like that. So that's what I have elected to do. I've elected to go with the yellow undercarriage, all right, and the yellow wheels. So I will continue working on that. The thing that I ran into with having things not fitting properly was really right back here, okay? There you go. Now you can see that. You see where I have that piece of gold trim right in there? I had a very, very tiny little gap right in here, okay? Everything else fit pretty well, but right back here, I just had a little gap running right along the back there. So here's what I did. I found some of my evergreen polystyrene, okay? And this is really, really thin, all right? Let me show you this. Can you see that? This is really thin, and it's flexible. All right, now this comes in different sizes and shapes and so forth. I think that's probably about as thin as this gets. So I took an Artex marker, all right, in gold, all right, and I did all of this in gold, okay? I colored the entire piece gold. Whoops. And I just dropped it. And oh, I just dropped it. Look at that. This goes in the interior cab. All right. This is the jump seat. Right. And I just dropped it and it came out. So now I'm going to have to repair that. Okay, so what I did was I measured this on the back, right? And I cut it and I put it in, and yeah, it covers up that gap, and I think it actually enhances the look. So I think that came out really nice. The point being, you know, when you run into something that's just not working out, just take a few minutes and, you know, give it some thought. And sometimes not only does it work, but it works out to where it's a little bit nicer than what you had originally thought about doing to begin with. I'm actually thinking about doing that same thing right up here in the front, putting that gold piece right up here. As a matter of fact, you can see I already started to do that by hand with that same gold marker. I think this looks a bit sloppy, to be honest with you. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece of the gold, I'm going to cut it, and I'm going to put it right up here. Let me see if I can show you that. Okay, and I think that's going to look pretty good, and it won't look as sloppy, see? Okay, so I think that's what I'm going to do there. So I will continue to work on this, and now I have the added chore of putting this back. That just dropped it right in front of you. Can't believe I did that. I'm a dunderhead, you know that. So, and actually I had somebody that wrote in and called me a dunderhead. Who was that told me that? Hang on a second. Oh, Kevin Muckleroy. Okay, well, I went over the brand new colors released in the Kaleido paint line, and I guess I inadvertently forgot to show the clear amber. So Kevin Muckleroy wrote in, and I'm going to read exactly what he said. He wrote in and said, "Thunderhead, you all forgot the clear amber." Well, I don't know. I guess I did. You know what? I haven't reviewed that video. So if he says I didn't put it in, I guess I didn't put it in. So I'm going to show you that quickly while I've got, hold on, be patient with me. I should have had this prepared. Here we go. This is the clear amber right there. Okay. The Kaleido clear amber. Right, let's see if we can get this light down here a little bit better. And can you see that? Clear amber. Okay, so my apologies if I forgot to show that particular color. All right. Let's see here. Oh, Rod Noble from the Blind Model Builder, he was asking me about, have I ever thought about doing a group build? Actually, you know, it is something that I have considered. I'm not sure exactly what I would want to do for a group build, but it is something that I have thought about. So, I don't know. I'll give that a little bit more thought and see if I can come up with something, okay? My friend Justin over at MK Model Works, I think he's going to be doing a group build, and it's going to be a group build for veterans, a veterans-themed group build. So I'm anxious to see what he comes up with there. Check out Justin at MK Model Works and see if he mentions that, or you can check him out and ask him that question in the comments, okay? And check out Rod Noble at Blind Model Builder too. He's got a terrific channel over there. I want to mention my friend Kenny Kimbrough. Now, a little while ago, he asked me about, you know, what airbrush I would recommend and so on and so forth. He was getting into airbrushing for the very first time. Normally, when somebody asks me about airbrushes for the very first time, a lot of times I'll jump right over to the gallery GHAD 39. And the reason I choose that airbrush for people getting into airbrushing for the very first time is because it's an inexpensive airbrush. I think right now it's retailing for about, I don't know, $45 or so. You know, the prices fluctuate. I think at the last check it was about $45. If it turns out it's not $45, I'm sure it's within a couple of dollars of that. But the point being, it's an inexpensive airbrush. Now, I know that there's a line of thinking out there along the lines of don't buy an inexpensive airbrush because the quality and reliability will not be there, and it will sour you on airbrushes. The exception to that, I think, in my heart of hearts, is the GHAD 39 by Gallery. And I've mentioned before, I have about 16 or 17 airbrushes. I have 4 of the GHAD 39 airbrushes, and I use that airbrush a lot. I use that airbrush instead of some of the higher end airbrushes that I have. I have Harder and Steenbeck. I have Grex. I have a Nawada Eclipse. Those are higher end airbrushes, and I many times will reach for that GHAD 39 airbrush because I really find that it is reliable. Atomization is wonderful. It cleans up nicely, and for a $45 airbrush, I think you can't beat that. So anyway, Kenny went out, he bought that airbrush, and I'm going to read this to you word for word, okay? These are his words, all right? And he wrote to me and he said, I just got done spraying 2 coats of mango orange and 2 coats of clear on what I call the cursed CUDA with that new Gallery airbrush, and I hate to brag too early, but boss, I want to tell you that that's like going from driving a Chevette to a Corvette. I am extremely pleased with the results so far. Those are his words. So Kenny, I'm glad that airbrush is working out for you. You know, I can't stress enough, if you're getting into airbrushing for the very first time, that's a good choice. Okay, and one more thing from my friend Sita over at Gallery. Sita is moving into a brand new house this month. So yay, Sita, congratulations. And we were talking back and forth on email and so forth. And she was telling me how she was buying, decorations and so forth, to put in her house. And anyway, the subject came up about me building a car for her new house. So I am in search of a kit for Sita. She said she would like to have a sports car. So I'm looking for a sports car for Sita, and I will get to that. And I'll tell you, I think that's pretty cool that something that I built will be sitting in her home over in China. That's pretty cool. Okay, so let's see. And speaking of Gallery, here is my codes if you would like to get a Gallery airbrush or Kaleido paints. There's your discount code right there, PPMW, okay? And you can use this discount code on Amazon, all right? You can buy Gallery products and Kaleido paints on Amazon and get your discount right there with that discount code, okay? And I think you can bundle those codes. I think so. Give it a try and see and let me know. Okay, but there's your Amazon discount code right there. And I know that some of you, actually I've been getting a lot of this, have been asking me about shop cards, and I haven't been showing my email address. There's my email address. Okay, I don't know, for some reason I got out of the habit of showing that. So if you want a shop card, there's the email address. Or if you just want to communicate with me, there it is, okay? And there is my mailing address, okay? By post office, U.S. mail, the old-fashioned way. There's the address right there, okay? So I think that's about as much as I've got here for now. What I want to show you is my choice for the group build for Grandpa Marks and Lennis Schultz group build on Facebook. This is going to be on the Facebook side. And that particular group build is called a Build It Again group build. So in other words, my understanding from that is you choose something that you have built in the past and you build it again. And I guess the idea there is to show how you have perhaps improved your skills and comparing the new build with the original build. And also, of course, I guess it goes without saying, you can try different things. So in other words, if you did the original build in a certain color, you can do it again and try it in a different color, see how that works. Now, I had originally mentioned this probably about a month ago when I chose this kit. Okay, this is a Revell Cuda, right? It's a Hemi Cuda. Yes, a Hemi Cuda. This is what I originally chose as my group build for the Build It Again group build, except I changed my mind, and I'll tell you why. As I mentioned, you know, sometimes the grandchildren get into things, and things kind of get a little bit destroyed. And I think that the entire premise behind this group build is to show the original build next to the new build. Okay, so you have a comparison, old and new. Well, the problem I discovered was when I went back to try to find this original build, it wasn't in good shape. Somebody had gotten to that and it was in pieces. So I decided to go with something that was still intact. I'm going to go over and show you that over at the other bench, because I'm kind of, this bench is kind of filled up with stuff from the 1910 taxi. All right, so I'll meet you over at the other bench. I'll show you what I have selected, okay? Okay, so this is the kit that I have selected for the Grandpa Mark's Lennis Schultz group build on Facebook. And it's the 37 Ford Coupe Street Rod. All right, now I built this, quite a number of years ago, probably when I got back into the hobby, which was around 2018 or so. So that's probably the time frame that I built this originally. Maybe it was 2019, I really don't know. So this is the kit that I have chosen, all right? So this is that build from back then, all right? And the construction, the actual physical construction of the kit really isn't bad, but I hate the paint job. It's dull, and the decals came out really bad. I don't know if you can tell, but the clear plastic in between here is very visible. It's not showing up as much on camera, but trust me, in real life, it stands out a lot, and it really takes away from this entire finish. But yeah, you can see how dull this paint job is. I don't know, did I patina this? Yeah, I did a little bit, not much. And yeah, this must have been done right in the beginning when I got back into the hobby, because I painted all of this blue, which I don't do anymore. My standard method of doing things is I paint this flat black down here. So yeah, this is painted in body color. So yeah, this was really done very early when I got back into the hobby, probably around 2018 or so. But again, the actual construction of the build itself, yeah, it's not really too bad. It's just the finishing parts that really, in my opinion, look terrible. So I'm thinking, now I haven't made up my mind entirely on this, but I'm thinking of a candy red on this. I think that would look really cool. So anyway, this is what I am going to be going with for my Grandpa Mark's Lennis Schultz Build It Again group build right here. Actually, the yellow's not bad either. But I don't know. I just think that the candy red would look really cool. So anyway, haven't made up my mind. I might go in a completely different direction and pick an entirely different color, outside of what I just mentioned here. But this is going to be a duplicate in a different color of this particular build, 37 Ford Coupe. Okay, so with that, I'm going to end this video up. Thanks for tuning in once again, and I will see all of you in the next video.